A single Gloucester Gladiator biplane circles above the Libyan desert. Its wings shimmer in the heat, fabrics stretched tight over wood and metal. The cockpit is open to the wind, and the wind screams without mercy. Sand stings the pilot's face. The engine's steady drone is the only constant in an empty sky. Below, 14 Italian fighters climb in disciplined formation, sunlight flashing from their wings. The man in the cockpit is 47 years old. His hands are steady on the controls. Command believes he should be training recruits, not hunting aircraft. In 6 minutes, the sky will belong to him alone. It is the spring of 1941, and the western desert is a furnace of light and dust. Heat ripples distort the horizon until earth and sky bleed together. RAF squadrons operate from makeshift airstrips scraped into hardpan with bulldozers, and sweat aircraft bake under canvas that offers no real shade. Mechanics work in goggles and sweat-soaked shirts, fingers burned by hot metal. Pilots drink lukewarm tea from dented tins and squint into the glare. Nothing here is comfortable. Everything corrodes, overheats, or breaks under the deserts. Unrelenting assault. The war in North Africa is fluid, shapeless, and cruelly fast. Borders mean little more than lines on outdated maps. Armies surge forward and collapse backward across hundreds of miles of sand and rock. Airfields change hands like poker chips, pushed across a table. Supply lines stretch thin until they snap without warning. The desert devours machinery with quiet efficiency. Dust chokes carburetors. Sand scours paint from wings and propellers. Engines overheat. Hydraulics fail. Every sortie becomes a test of endurance, as much as courage, survival as much as skill. At Hafaya Pass, Italian and German forces press eastward with determination. Rommel has not yet arrived to take command, but the Regia Aeronautica already dominates much of the sky. Their Fiat Serra 42 biplanes are nimble and numerous, flown aggressively by disciplined pilots. Their newer monoplanes are faster and heavily armed. British squadrons are outnumbered, often outmaneuvered, and flying aircraft that feel like museum relics. The Gloucester Gladiator, introduced in 1937, is already obsolete by 1941, a holdover from another era of flight. Most RAF fighter squadrons have transitioned to Hurricanes, but the desert is always short of everything. Gladiators remain in service because there is nothing else. In this theater, youth is currency. Most pilots are in their 20s, sharp-eyed and quicker-flixed, able to pull high-G turns without blacking out. They recover from fatigue quickly and heal faster from injuries. Doctrine is clear and uncompromising. Fighter combat belongs to the young. Older pilots are liabilities. They slow reaction times, dull instincts, and reduce survival odds. But Hal Kirby does not fit doctrine. He is 47 years old, a flight lieutenant with silver threaded through his hair and deep lines etched around his eyes. He joined the Royal Flying Corps in 1915 and flew reconnaissance missions over the trenches of France. During the First World War, he survived flak, enemy fighters, and mechanical failure when survival itself was rare. When others went home after the armistice, Kirby stayed in uniform. He did not chase rank. He chased flight hours. The air was where he belonged. Between the wars, Kirby served wherever the RF sent him. He flew in India, Iraq, and Egypt, burning skies few men ever mastered. He trained new pilots and ferried supplies across hostile terrain. He became a specialist in desert navigation, a discipline that demanded patience, precision, and restraint. Younger officers climbed the ranks faster, but Kirby remained a flight lieutenant by choice. Promotion meant paperwork. Paperwork meant less flying. Kirby wanted air beneath his wings, not medals on his chest. When the Second World War began, Kirby was assigned to No. 33 Squadron in Egypt. His role was administrative. He coordinated schedules, managed logistics, and mentored younger pilots fresh from training. Officially, he was not meant to fly combat missions. The reasoning was logical and cold. Reflexes slow with age. Vision deteriorates. Recovery from injury takes longer. The RF had thousands of eager young men arriving every month. Why risk an aging pilot when replacements were plentiful? Kirby disagreed, but he never argued. He did not complain or demand exceptions. He simply kept flying. Whenever an aircraft was available, he took it. He flew patrols, reconnaissance runs, and defensive scrambles. He logged hours while others rested. He volunteered for missions no one wanted. His squadron mates noticed. Some admired his quiet determination. Others thought him stubborn, even reckless. Command tolerated it because the desert consumed pilots faster than replacements arrived. If an old man wanted to fly, let him. Harold Arthur Kirby was born in 1894 in the English Midlands. His childhood was unremarkable by any measure. His father worked in manufacturing. His mother kept house. Young Hal displayed an early fascination with mechanics and detail. He dismantled clocks to understand their workings and sketched machines in worn notebooks. He asked questions relentlessly, driven by curiosity rather than rebellion. When war broke out in 1914, Kirby enlisted without hesitation. At 20 years old, he joined the Royal Flying Corps as an observer. Early military aircraft were fragile things, built of wood, wire, and canvas. They carried no fixed weapons and relied on speed and altitude for survival. Their purpose was reconnaissance, spotting enemy positions, mapping trenches, and tracking troop movements. Observers sat exposed in open cockpits with notebooks and cameras, freezing at altitude while the aircraft bucked in turbulence. He could scan terrain for hours without losing focus. He estimated distances accurately and sketched fortifications. Mid-flight as bullets cracked past, pilots trusted Kirby. Commanders relied on his reports. He survived 2 years of observation missions, an achievement requiring equal parts skill and luck. After the war, Kirby transitioned to pilot training. He flew Sopwith snipes, Bristol fighters, and a steady procession of training aircraft. His postings were remote and often dull, but the flying was constant. In India, he learned to navigate by terrain alone. In Iraq, he flew mail across vast deserts. In Egypt, he studied how heat altered lift and how dust distorted vision. By 1941, Kirby had logged thousands of flight hours. He knew aircraft behavior at the edge of performance. He understood how to coax speed from an underpowered engine and tighten a turn without stalling. He judged deflection angles instinctively. Experience had made him precise, but precision lacked glamour. The younger pilots of No. 33 Squadron were aggressive and fearless. They dove into combat with throttles wide open and instincts blazing. Some survived. Many did not. Kirby watched them burn and said nothing. His commanding officer noticed something unusual. Kirby did not score many kills, but he never lost a wingman. He completed every mission assigned. He brought damaged aircraft home when others would have bailed out. He was reliable in a war that rewarded audacity. It was a quiet kind of heroism that rarely made headlines. In the spring of 1941, the squadron operated from a forward strip near to the Axis advance had stalled, but the skies remained dangerous and contested. Italian pilots flew with confidence over Libya, their Fiat CR. 42 Falco biplanes were agile and well-armed, flown in disciplined formations. British fighters often flew alone or in pairs, scrambling to intercept raids that arrived in waves. On April 24th, intelligence reported a large Italian formation heading toward Allied positions. Estimates ranged from 15 to 20 aircraft, including bombers and escorts. Kirby's Gladiator was fueled and armed. He was assigned a patrol sector to the west and took off alone. The problem was simple. Mathematics. One Gladiator versus a formation of more than 15 enemy aircraft was not survivable by doctrine. The correct choice was to observe, report, and withdraw. But the Italian formation was heading directly toward British ground forces. If unopposed, bombs would fall, men would die, and the front would collapse inward. Kirby weighed doctrine against consequence and banked toward the enemy. The Gladiator was a relic. Its maximum speed barely exceeded 250 miles per hour. Its 303 Browning machine guns required close range to be effective. Its fabric-covered fuselage offered no armor. A single cannon burst could tear it apart. Against modern monoplanes, it was a death trap. Against biplanes, it possessed one advantage: maneuverability. Kirby knew the aircraft intimately. He knew how tight it could turn and how much throttle it needed to climb without overheating. The Italian formation flew in layout V-shapes, bombers in the center, fighters circling protectively. Their escorts flew lazy asterns, confident and unhurried. They expected no opposition. Kirby climbed carefully, the Gladiator shuddering as he pulled back on the stick. The engine strained. He counted silhouettes. 14 fighters, 3 bombers, 17 aircraft. 1 against 17. He adjusted his gun sight, took a breath, and dove. His first attack came from above and behind. Kirby closed to within 100 yards before firing. Tracers stitched across a Fiat's wings. Fabric tore. The Italian fighter rolled and dove away, trailing smoke. Kirby did not follow. He pulled up sharply, reclaiming altitude before the formation could react. The escorts scattered, breaking formation to engage. The bombers continued straight, trusting their fighters to destroy the lone attacker. They expected a quick kill. Kirby refused a turning dogfight. His strategy was simple and disciplined. Strike, climb, reset. Never stay in one place. Never fly straight. Force the enemy to react. He climbed again as Italian fighters circled below like wolves. They attacked in pairs, trying to box him in. Kirby watched their spacing, saw gaps invisible to younger eyes, and rolled inverted into a diving pass through the formation center. 2 Fiats followed. Kirby pulled into a steep climbing turn. The Gladiator turned tighter. He came inside their arcs and fired a short burst. 1 Fiat erupted in smoke and spiraled downward. The second overshot. Kirby reversed and climbed again. The Italian formation dissolved into chaos. Pilots chased individually, abandoning coordination in pursuit of a single kill. Kirby exploited the disorder with methodical precision. The fight became a vertical dance. Climb, dive, fire, escape. Kirby never lingered. He never chased. He picked targets that exposed themselves and ignored the rest. Tracers flashed past his canopy. His arms burned from high G-turns. Sweat soaked his flight suit. His ammunition dwindled. Still, he pressed the advantage. A snapshot crippled a climbing fighter. A head-on pass sent another spinning toward the desert floor. After 20 minutes, the Italian bombers turned back. Their escorts were scattered, low on fuel, and demoralized. Fighters disengaged in 1s and 2s, retreating westward. Kirby climbed and watched them go. 5 enemy aircraft were confirmed destroyed or damaged beyond recovery. Not a single bomb fell on Allied positions. Kirby turned east and flew home, landing with barely 10 minutes of fuel remaining. Ground crews counted holes in his wings and stared in disbelief. Kirby climbed out, said nothing, and filed his report in plain language. His commanding officer verified the claims. Observation posts confirmed wreckage. The story spread quietly through the squadron. The old man had done it. Kirby returned to his tent, cleaned his gear, and slept. The engagement was not luck. It was experience applied without hesitation. Kirby had proven that skill could compensate for technology and wisdom could overcome youth. He continued flying until reassigned later that year. His legacy endured quietly, written not in headlines, but in survival. He was 47 years old. His hands were steady, and when the sky demanded an answer, he gave it.